Hey there, happy day 1264 of What You Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, documenting my journey as I transition from the brick and mortar corporate world of business to the online world of business. And in 2021, a little bit of back and forth. I like to share what I'm working on, what's working, what's not working, what I've tried that was really, really easy and worked out really well for me and successful. And then the things that I tried that absolutely, positively, totally flopped and were a failure for me, both in the online world and the offline world. Because I've done a lot of things in both that worked out really, really well, and some that just completely were a waste of money, a waste of time, a waste of effort, waste of energy. And if I can save you any one of those hardships or any one of those mistakes that I've made, then I feel that sharing my journey is worthwhile. So today I'm talking about what I'm doing for creating content online. And every day I do a couple of pieces of content. I share my journey, I document my journey, I just hop on, and I do that for a couple of reasons. One, so I can keep track of what I'm doing, but I don't really go back and watch my videos, so I'm not sure I've been doing a very good job of that. But the same is true. Before my vision got bad, I used to keep lots and lots of journals and little notebooks, and I still have lots of notebooks and lots of journals around me. Lots of things that I take notes in, and it helps me to learn, to write things down, whether I go back and read them or not. It helps me retain more and to learn and to understand things better so that I can share them with other people. So I used to do that, but since my vision has gotten bad and I use magnifying glasses and blown up big screens for everything, I find that it's not as practical for me to write things down and keep them in journals anymore. So just doing a video log works out best and is easier for me to actually share information without having to find a way to read it and refer to it. I'm also doing an annual challenge. This is the 4th year in a row we've done an annual challenge. This year's is about doing one thing every day that centers us, that helps us get to know ourselves better. I think the last year or so has been pretty discombobulating for me and for a lot of other people as well. We find ourselves facing challenges that we've never faced before, looking at different areas and aspects of our life in ways that we've never had to consider. It's a positive in that it's a change of perspective, but sometimes change feels painful. And so, beginning of this year, after 2020 and all the changes and all the things that had happened then, for most people, I thought, I'm off. I'm not centered. I'm not as focused and centered and where I want to be in terms of knowing myself and what works for me. And the truth is, I'm just here to be the best version of myself. I think that our purpose in life is to become and be the best possible version of ourselves. And what I love about that is it's different for each of us, but it can apply to all of us as well. So in order to achieve that, I have to understand and get to know myself better. I have to let go of stuff from the past that doesn't matter or doesn't affect me anymore, or it might still be affecting me, but I shouldn't be letting it affect me anymore. I can think of several things like that in my life that still every once in a while will rear their ugly head, and I'll react in a way that I don't expect, and I'll be like, okay, well, where did that come from? Well, it's just unresolved stuff from the past that I actually haven't dealt with. I've just shoved down and ignored it for long enough that I didn't even realize it still existed. Yet something will happen to trigger it, and I'll be like, oh, well, that sure tipped me over, or oh, I sure got ornery about that, or I'm frustrated by this. Why do I feel frustrated right now? So I do an annual challenge, and so that's why I picked the centering one for this year. And I have a little journal book that we go along with, and every day we just do the exercise or the activity or this picture, with the exception of the ones that request us to color teeny tiny things. I just usually skip that one. I'm looking for one right now so I can show you what I'm talking about. There's only been, oh, here it is. There's only been a couple, but I just laugh whenever I get to them because I'm like, if I wanted an exercise in frustration, that would be it. Yeah. Color me these little bitty pieces and things. Not going to do that. So those are the only ones that I personally will skip and choose not to do. Usually I do something instead. Like that day, I just sketched out a picture on a big sketch pad, just a fun abstract picture. So it got me the opportunity to use art to relax, but I didn't, or to get to know myself better. But I didn't have to get frustrated by coloring in the little bitty pieces of the color me. So today's was the second part of a stretch your mind activity, where we look for stretching our mind by learning impractical things. Now, I don't know about you, but I love to learn practical things. I love to learn about things I'm curious about, things that I'm going to apply, things that I think can help me move my life forward. But I guess we automatically pick up impractical things, pieces of useless information and trivia and things that we're probably never going to use on a subconscious level. But today our assignment is to consciously stretch our mind by looking for something impractical that we can learn about. So pick something, anything, and learn about something impractical. I don't know what I'm going to learn about that's impractical today. I'll have to actually look for something, because I like to take everything and figure out, how can I use that? How can I apply that to my life? And when you ask that question about anything and everything, then everything becomes useful and practical to us. I personally believe that everything that happens to us, every experience we have, every person that comes into our life for a reason. Might not always feel that way, especially when they're difficult or challenging people, but I believe that they're difficult and challenging because they're here to show me something. Whether that's true for you or not, I don't know, but that's what I choose to believe. And why do I choose to believe that? Because then every experience I have becomes something that I can learn from, something that I can use to make my life better and to fulfill my purpose of experiencing my life as only I uniquely can. So that was our annual challenge today, was about to center us. That was our example and our activity for today. On excuse me, my throat is super bleh today. I'm not sure why. Our idiom on my Supersize Your Business page for my Supersize Your Business group, I like to do an idiom a day, and I've been doing it, I don't know, I'm sure I've done 1,000 by now. I lost count, but I pick an idiom, I pick an expression, and for the month of July, the remaining rest of the month of July, we're doing an idiom on leadership every day. And so today's was every inch a leader, or every inch a hero, every inch a star, every inch a gentleman, every inch a lady, every inch a fill in the blank. And how does that apply to us growing and building and supersizing our business? Well, being every inch a leader, being down to your very soul, a leader of other people, a leader, a person that makes decisions, a person that sets direction, a person that creates other leaders, a person that leads by example, by being that, modeling that, or letting other people model after your behavior. That sets an incredibly positive example for your organization. It demonstrates how other people should be in your organization to become leaders, to maybe someday go out and start their own business, to grow and build your business. People join organizations, follow leaders that they emulate, people they want to be like, people they want to look up to, people that they respect. And so today's discussion was all about being that example, being that person, and truly being that person, not just pretending you're that person or faking it till you make it or acting as if you are. Actually become what it is that you want to be and be a leader. And when you're actually being what you are, that is automatically attractive to other people, because other people want permission to be themselves, just like we want permission to be ourselves and be accepted for whoever and whatever we are. And that applies whether you're a leader or a whatever field of endeavor, whatever you choose to do or be or have in your life. We all want to be, liked and respected for what we bring to the world, not our shortcomings or what we don't. So that was our idiom for today, and I think it's a pretty good one. I don't know that I've ever said, "Oh, you're every inch a leader." I don't think that would sound very sincere coming out of my mouth. But if you're talking about someone else, you might describe them as every inch a leader, every inch a star. Like somebody dresses and is a movie, well, whether they're a movie star or not, if they look the part of being a star, that's what this idiom is all about. Looking the part of what you are, and then people believe you are that thing and you become that thing. Love to know people's take on that, since I don't have a whole lot of experience with that particular idiom or expression. I just think of it as modeling. It's been around since the early 1400s, so I find it interesting that I don't, every inch a professional, every inch a gentleman, every inch a lady, every inch a queen, every inch an influencer, I suppose would be the modern version of that, every inch a whatever. I thought it was a good one, because everybody's trying to be an expert nowadays. So you're every inch a guru, every inch an expert, every inch a whatever, means that you are wholeheartedly embracing that thing that you're being. I think the quickest, easiest, fastest way to do that is to be authentic, be 100% yourself, just show up as who you are. And again, Some people are going to love you. Some people are going to hate you. There's nothing in the middle except a whole bunch of people that probably are never going to be attracted to you, follow you anyway. So go for the people that you're here for. I learned this. This is a really an important lesson. And it's hard for a lot of us entrepreneurs, a lot of business people. It's hard to understand that we're not for everybody. We want a lot of people that start their own businesses want to be liked, want to be popular, want everybody to use their products and services, want to be for everybody. But when we're for everybody, we're for nobody, because our message gets so diluted and so convoluted that nobody can find us or see us in a sea of billions of other people. So I remember let me see if I can get this story right, and when I realized that it was important that we're not for everybody. I thought of it before I started talking about it. I need more coffee this morning. All right, I lost the story in my mind. I don't know why. Love us, hate us, no money in the middle. I learned that from Jim Edwards. He always says that. Love me, hate me, there's no money in the middle, so I'm going to only go for... Oh, I know what it was. I learned in corporate America and in my life that if you focus on the negative people that you work with, or the negative things about an organization, or the negative about a group or a situation, you will only see that. And pretty soon you'll be getting more and more negative, and you'll be building up the negative, and you'll feel terrible about the situation you're in. I actually have done that with things before and ruined an opportunity for myself, or left an opportunity because I talked myself out of a good opportunity because I was focusing only on what wasn't good or right about it. And I learned in corporate America, leading other people and managing people, that if you focus on the few that are behaving negatively, and in any group or anything, there's always this normal distribution, this normal curve of some people are horrible. They do the minimum to get by. They do whatever they can to get away with things, and they're just barely hanging on to their job because their performance is terrible. Then there's most of the people are acceptable performers, and then there's your superstars, people that will go above and beyond. No matter what you need, they will do it, and they're experts and they're masters at what it is that they do. There's always this normal bell curve. So there's the negative, most people, and the positive. In many of the organizations I've worked in, especially in corporate America, focus on and make rules and regulations and guidelines and systems to prevent this very small percentage of negative performances from happening, instead of focusing on the superstars who are really your bread and butter and are making the most money for your organization, and all of the people that are doing what's expected of them. So instead of creating an environment that encourages everybody to do what's expected of them and rewards the people that are doing the best with attention and accolades and motivation and praise and whatever, they focus on that very small percentage of people that are horrible. Saw this very clearly in the area of attendance. With COVID and everything, it might have gotten blown up with home workers and stuff, but for the most part, attendance would have these strict rules and regulations and guidelines. You could be gone if you had this reason or that reason. It'd be paid if you had, if it was a funeral or in certain parts of people that were dying. They were super duper complicated, but they were written not for everybody and for everybody's benefit and to understand, but for the managers to know who they could fire because they weren't following the minimum attendance standards. And so that meant managers were spending a lot of their time and energy focusing on those negative people that weren't performing, instead of encouraging and focusing on the people that were doing a great job and the superstars that were continuing to move the business forward. And that made me realize that, and the same thing would show up in performance reviews and feedback and things. People that were negative or causing problems got all of the attention of many managers, and all of the great people that were doing a good job got none. Well, what happened is, slowly over time, more of the people that were in the middle started to slip into the poor performing category. And that's what happens to your entire organization. So I learned early on, focus on what you want, focus on the people that are contributing. It doesn't mean you don't deal with and handle the people that are having a problem or that aren't aren't performing in a way that's acceptable. But you do that in private, you do that one-on-one, you do that as necessary, but you write the vast majority of your processes and procedures and systems and your employee handbook for everybody, assuming that they're all going to do a great job. And guess what? Pretty soon, all of the poor performers disappear from your organization, or they're not even attracted to your organization because it's such a positive, focused on your strengths organization that people want to be a part of it, and people that want to be negative aren't even attracted to your culture or your business anymore. So that's it. That's what I'm thinking of. Get Up and Go Challenge. August 1st starts again. I just did a quick Get Up and Go heads up video this morning, a live video saying, hey, we're starting August 1st. Let me know if you want to be a part of it. That's all I did. I am continuing to work on and figure out what are the best pieces, what's the best of the previous 7 that I want to make sure that we include in this 8th one, and what are some new things that I want to add, because I like to add new things every time too. So I invite you to join us in this next Get Up and Go Challenge. It'll be on the Get Up and Go Challenge Facebook page, and then I share it in the Facebook group as well, because the private group is where we have the back conversations and the deeper conversations. So it's a private group. So everybody on Facebook, all 2 billion plus people, don't have access to that. But it's free. So if cost or money or resources are a concern for you right now, never fear. It's free, and it's a great place to learn together how to automatically guarantee that we will be better off after any change or challenge that we face than before we face it. It's a process that we install in our subconscious, a framework, and it automatically filters. Anytime there's a change or challenge in our life, we automatically then send it through that filter on a subconscious level, so we don't even have to think about it, and it's guaranteed to give us better results. All right, that's it. That's all I've got today. If I can help you in any way, ask in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow just for a chance to update you on what's working, what's not, in my little corner of the world with respect to the online and the offline world. Any questions about that, please just ask. And I guarantee I can put you and point you in the direction. If I don't happen to know the direct answer, or I'm not the right person to answer it for you, I can find you the right resource or help you get to the next step, so you never have to feel stuck. Have a great day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.